A little over a year ago, I made a video about the best free editing software for YouTube, which is still, I believe, Davinci Resolve, because it is insanely powerful and you can do so much stuff in it. So today I'm going to show you how to do a little more advanced stuff that I learned over the past year. So I'm going to start off with a DNG time-lapse that I have. So it's a time-lapse, a raw time-lapse that you can edit and resolve in raw. So I'm gonna add that to timeline. Plays back a little choppy because it's a bunch of raw files. So we come over here to camera raw. You can change a bunch of stuff. Actually, before we do this, I always want to come into the settings, check out if my resolution and timeline frame rate set up, because you can't change the timeline frame rate after you add a clip to the project. So you want to change the timeline frame rate first before you add a clip. Otherwise you have to delete this project and make an entire new one. Then playback frame rate set the same. And then last time I said that this did something, but I don't think it does. I think that's for like another like output monitor, not the preview like I previously thought. I don't mess with any of that stuff. To add LUTs, you go in here, open the LUT folder, and just drag your LUTs in. I added some where are my LUTs? I added some free LUTs that I downloaded. And then once you added your LUTs, just update lists and it updates the LUTs for you. General options, I still use this from time to time, which is DNX, HRLB, and optimize media. So I still use these from time to time if my footage is playing back choppy and I don't want to edit like that. I optimize it and wait the little amount of time that it takes to optimize it, and then it plays back a lot smoother. So autosave is really important. Once you save the project, you want to go in here and turn on autosave. Before you even start doing anything, I would recommend going to file, save, and save the project before you even start anything, and then coming in here and turning on autosave, and then every 5 minutes. So that's it for the settings. Oh, also, if you go into workspace layout and full screen, you can go into full screen. And playback, you can also use render cache. So on the timeline, if you turn on render cache, it starts caching your thing. So it's basically like optimizing media, except it does it automatically while you're editing. And if you make any change to it at all, it deletes the whole cache of that portion and it starts over rendering it again. So it does keep your PC at like 100% CPU usage the whole time. So I used it once or twice and then I never used it again, so I usually turn it off. I usually just use generate optimized media if I need to, which works pretty well. So anyway, we have our 4K, or actually it's above 4K. What is it? Metadata is here. So 4592 by 2584 DNG format, which is raw. Playing back at 30 frames per second. In the color tab, you can, just like if you were correcting a raw file in like Lightroom or something, you can change the exposure. So just like a raw file in like Lightroom or raw therapy, you can change all the stuff you would normally change with a raw file. Alright, so that is for raw files. I also have a couple of other examples I have. So I'm gonna delete this from the timeline. I'll come back to it later to show color grading, but let's start with this but this is a video I took just as a test to see like the maximum amount of bokeh I can get with my 200mm lens that I just got. So you can see that it's playing back really choppy. So I'm gonna come in, optimize media. Didn't take too long this time because it's a really short clip. Yeah, this plays back a little bit smoother. Alright, so I have that. I'm gonna I'll just take this clip, cut it down. Ripple delete is very useful. So what ripple delete does is just Control Z to undo. Ripple delete is probably the most useful thing in the new update, which was last year, like in the middle of last year. There was a new update, 12.5 I think. Yeah, so ripple delete just takes it and shifts it back, or you can regular delete and it leaves the blank space. So there's delete selected and ripple delete. Alright, let me put that over here. Let me delete the audio for both of these because I don't need them. Keyframing. You can keyframe certain stuff. This works for pictures, any like clip you have on the timeline. So if you press this box, you can manually move around the thing. So let's say I want to keyframe this at this spot. I'm gonna go to transform. I'm gonna keyframe zoom and position, and then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna expand this a little, and you see it auto keyframes. So I'm gonna have it come over from that corner and then fill up the middle. So as you see, it keyframes from here to here, and it transforms the clip to the different part of the thing that you want based on the keyframes you set. You can also keyframe opacity. So if I want it to fade out, I can keyframe the opacity and then come over here and then keyframe the opacity down to 9, let's say. And as it zooms in, it goes more transparent.